Hello and welcome to week 9 of High School Football Friday night. I'm Walt Moody, sports editor at the Winchester Star, along with Robert Stocks and Robert Niedzwiecki. We're going to be talking about 3 games this week. 2 of them are on Friday. Clark County is at Madison County, and James Wood is at Fauquier. On Saturday, Sharando is at Hanley. First up, we're going to talk a little bit about Clark County, which is 7-1, against Madison County, which is 2-5.
Clark County had a pretty big bounce back game last week after losing to Central 2 weeks ago. They went on the road and beat Strasburg 49-20, and the Eagles scored the 35 unanswered points to pull away in that one, and they really did it behind their ground game, which has been huge for them all season long, with Peyton Rutherford leading the single wing offense. He rushed for 274 yards and 5 touchdowns, and they're going to be going up against the Madison team that's struggled a little bit, especially last week. In their last game, they lost to Central 77-0. So they're, they come into the game in averaging about 21 points on offense, and they've been giving up 36 on defense per game. So they're probably going to have a tough matchup going up against Clark's offense, especially with the way the Eagles can move the ball with the ground game. When Madison has the ball, their spread offense is led by Elijah Lewis. He's a 6'1", 207-pound junior quarterback. And another item of note is that Chris Parker, the coach of Clark County, is going to be going up against his former player, and Chandler Rhodes, who's in his first season coaching the Mountaineers. So Parker said he's never coached against a former player, so this will be a first for him, and kind of be just a little bit of a neat side note to this one. So
next up, I'll talk a little bit about James Wood, who is at 2-5, at Fauquier, which is 1-6. James Wood is coming off a 24-8 loss against Millbrook, a loss in which they held the high-powered Pioneer offense to just 24 points, which is a season low. They also held the Pioneers to 82 yards on the ground. They face a Fauquier team that Coach Ryan Morgan likens to Warren County, who the Colonels lost to earlier in the season. He says that they've got some talented athletes, one of them being Kevin Chavis, a running back who's rushed for 777 yards and is averaging about a little over 7 yards a carry. They also have gone with a sophomore quarterback, Jackson Eicher, who has thrown the ball fairly well. He's got 820 yards passing and 5 touchdowns, but he's also thrown 11 interceptions. His favorite target is Dakari Mullins, who has 24 catches and 1 touchdown this season. The Colonels, Coach Morgan feels like as they continue to watch film, they continue to see where they're about a block away from really breaking some really big gains. Last week they managed a long 76-yard drive against the Pioneer defense, but that was pretty much it. Jackson Turner led the offense on that drive and had scored a touchdown on that drive. The Colonels will have both quarterbacks last week at the end of the game. Sophomore Carson Hoberg was hurt. Coach Morgan said that he will be available for Friday night, along with Mike Zebarth, who has been also seeing a lot of action at quarterback. Last up is action at the Hanley Bowl with 5-2 Sharando playing 3-5 Hanley.
Yeah, Sharando comes into this game coming off a big 35-14 win over Kettle Run. They moved up 4 spots on the ratings to number 4 after being number 8, which was 2 spots out of the playoff ratings. And they got a 70-yard touchdown pass from Hunter Ensminger and Aaron Banks late in the first half. And that's been big for Sharando this year. They've had at least one 50-yard touchdown in every single one of their games this year, and they're averaging 7 plays of 20 yards or more for this year, which is a higher rate than last year. So Sharando will look to keep that going against Hanley, which is giving up some big plays this year, and Hanley's really struggling right now. Last 2 games they haven't scored any points. They're coming off a 35-0 loss to Liberty last week. So Hanley have to figure out a way to not only stop that explosive offense, but have Sharando get its own offense going, because they leaned on the Wildcat more heavily than they have all year of last week with Malachi Emo. They've been going with it since week 4, but that's the most they used it last week, and it remains to be seen if they'll use it this week. But yeah, they got to just figure out a variety of different options and get the ball to Kevin Curry, their top wide receiver, who didn't have any catches last week. Shreno's owned this rivalry, won in 6 straight years. So he'll just look to try and stay the game as long as possible.
All right, and Millbrook is on bio this week, so that'll do it for us. Please keep up with local action on WinStar Sports 1. We'll be live tweeting from all the games to keep you updated, and thank you for watching.